Today I want to talk about, and just so you guys know, every time we have a promotion, it's really the best opportunity I have to speak to everybody at once. You know, some of you guys are on my Facebook, the newsletters, the mailing list, or the emails and stuff. We have, talks in and around class, and like with the New Rock guys, most of the time I'm there, it's after hours, so there aren't students there. So it's really this time that I have to share what's going on, share ideas that maybe senior students have already gotten in the past for me, but I really haven't had a means to deliver it to you guys. But it's a very important time. Being that that's the case, what I want to talk about today is participation in events like this. Now, for some people, you joined martial arts to get in shape. You joined martial arts to get out of the house. You joined martial arts because the sport that you usually play is out of season. And that is acceptable to a point. Once you've gotten to the point where you are now a senior rank in the jungle gym, you are treated differently. You are held to a different standard, and you are obligated to reciprocate to this family more so than any entry rank student. Okay? Now, I let entry rank students, and by let I mean without punishment or consequence, I let them miss events. I let them not show up for class consistently. I let them do everything because I don't want to put undeserved pressure on them. And that's a very valuable phrase, undeserved pressure. When I pressure you, when I expect something from you, it is because you have earned that, and it is a positive thing. I don't expect the entry ranks to do much. All they can do is impress me. It's just like my 5-month-old son. He goes to sit up. That's impressive. But an hour later, he shits his pants. I take what I can get. People in the entry ranks, you'll have a moment of glory, and I will be there to positively reinforce that. But then you'll have an ego attack, right? Or a little sissy fit. We don't have hissy fits, we have sissy fits. Right? Where it got a little bit too rough for you. But I don't punish you for that. There aren't consequences. You're not ready for that type of pressure yet. You haven't deserved that type of pressure. But now, senior ranks is a different story. Senior ranks, and I try to convey this as much as possible, this is not a sport school. My students fight. My students fight. If you are not interested in learning how to fight, you do not belong in my school. The people that are here to lose weight, that's fine. You'll lose weight in foundations. The people that are here to make friends, that's fine. You will do that in foundations. But as you start climbing the ladder of not only the programs in the school, but in turn, eventually in your ranks, you are joining a different club than the one you initially joined when you first signed up. Now, I've had too many people convert from the fitness student to the fighting student to say, well, if you're here for fitness, I'm not interested in having you. Because a lot of times, they're not even qualified or educated enough to have an opinion on what it is that they're looking for. They know that they're here because what they're getting out there just isn't enough. They might not even know what that is. Sort of like you're not feeling well, you go to the doctor. If you're Puerto Rican from the Bronx, you go to the emergency room, right? Spent a lot of hours in the emergency room. But you don't exactly know what's wrong with you. You just know something's wrong. All right, now a lot of you have instincts, have sort of this part of your personality that is unfulfilled and has been unfulfilled until you've made it to this room. Till you made it to where you're now training martial arts. Till you got hit. Right? Until you got choked. Until you got held down. Something came out of you that you had never faced a situation where it would have otherwise shown itself. But understand, when you go through the journey in the jungle gym and you get to the point where you're now experiencing those things and you're now developing parts of your not only personality but of your character that weren't there, you owe something back. Now, in the beginning, this is a business to a point. You start off paying, you end off getting paid. You start off joining because I don't want there to be a balance between us at the end of the day. When you join the school, I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're about. And I'm not going to sort of hold you to some requirement or standard when I don't know who you are. I'm going to give you an opportunity. And the business model of the jungle gym reflects that. But you think, you know, Coach Pat, Coach Anthony, Coach Bat Boy, Coach Angel, they work for the school now. The jungle gym pays them now. Coach Pat started off as a student just like you guys. He's now an owner of a school. I am never, ever responsible for putting a ceiling over somebody's head. What you can expect from me consistently is to speak my mind and to speak it right in front of your face. If I feel like I make a remark that could be construed as talking behind somebody's back, at the end of that conversation I contact that person and I let them know what I said about them. I'm the king of awkward moments. I will never tell you what you want to hear, but I will always tell you what you need to hear. When those two things are congruent, that is when you are successful. Especially in the jungle gym. Now many of you think that, well, this is limited to fighting, to self-defense. I don't believe in the term self-defense, by the way. Okay, I think it's a very vulnerable term to say self-defense. As if you're a victim and you have to learn how to equip yourself against the people that aren't victims. I don't think anybody here is a victim. Okay? I think there are going to be times when we're walking down the street where we're challenged. And our identity as a warrior is challenged. And that's a different mindset than I'm going to teach you self-defense. Now, some of you will never get into a fight in your life. And that's encouraged. Okay? But when we're here, you should be fighting in some capacity every minute that you are on the mat. If you go outside, I've trained in jiu-jitsu, I've trained in judo, I've trained in boxing, I've trained in Muay Thai, I now train in knife fighting. I don't want to get into a knife fight with anybody. Ever. Ever. I train shooting. I don't want to get into a gunfight with anybody. Ever. So to be congruent down the line, I don't want to get into a fist fight, a striking match, a grappling match, because it's all congruent. You're either for it or you're against it. When you're a warrior, you train for war. You don't look for it. You're ready for it. You don't look for it. You prepare for it. You don't start it. And usually when you adopt that mindset, you conduct yourself in a way that seems to avoid it. Bringing it full circle to my original point. These promotions are an opportunity for not only you to receive messages from the family of which you're a member, but it's also an opportunity for you to reciprocate. You guys all know what's about to go down with the senior ranks. don't for one instance undervalue you being one of the guys or girls to hit one of your brothers or sisters as they're promoted. Okay? Because when your brother gets promoted and you're not on that line to whip them, it's acknowledged. And not in a way that you like. What's even worse is when I put the sign up of who's getting promoted, and that determines whether people come or not. This is the last time today that we put senior ranks up on that list. If you're here, you're here. If you're not, you're not. Okay? Because unfortunately, when I decided to put up the list, because of how many people qualify for the entry ranks, I sort of threw out the baby with the bathwater. And I might as well put the senior ranks on there too, so they know. But now what happens? There are purple belts that are on here. There are brown belts and black belts that are on here. That's unacceptable. Because when they got their belt, we were here. Yes or no?
Yes, Coach.
This isn't about me. This isn't about the signs. It isn't about the logo. It's about everybody else that's in this room. It's unfortunate, but the nature of my role in the school does not allow me to even share with you the lengths at which I go to help my students. There are people in this room that have sat in my office crying like little babies over things that were going on in their lives outside. Because I'm a little too strong for the average new student. When a guy tells me, and he's here for a trial class, and he goes home, I got to ask my wife's permission before I can join, I'm not the guy you want to have the conversation with. I'm not. When you have a father that brings his son in, this happened the other day, and the mother was cursing him out on the phone, you better not join him up. I'm not the guy you want to have in the room during that. When anybody is trying to do better for themselves, and somebody who doesn't have a freaking clue outside is telling them that they're not going to get it here, I'm not the one that should be involved in that situation. Because I don't really have a muffle. I don't know how to sort of, tone it down a little bit. But I'll also say, that's not my job. I'm here every day, all day. Who here has ever had a private conversation with me? It helps if you look around. Everybody at some point gets involved with me if you're involved with the jungle gym. Because I can't leave. I'm in it to win it. I'm here to the end. Nobody else is. To different degrees. Some guys quit after a week. Some people it takes a year. Some people it takes 6 years. I've had people walk out after 8 years. It's the nature of the beast. Who works for me here? Raise your hand. If you work with me more than 10 years, what are you?
A loser.
I didn't feed them that. They know that. Because I tell them that every day. Being here is about growth. It's not about building up some sort of dependence on me. After a while, once you get used to me, it's easy to work here. Because you conduct yourself a certain way. But that's not the nature of what we're doing here. It's all about growth. It's all about taking care of and taking control of whatever your life is, whatever your potential is. It's not about staying in the safety zone. If you wanted to stay in the safety zone, you wouldn't be training martial arts in the first place. You would stay home. On the weekends, you pop bottles in the club. Right? I can't afford classes. Hold on. He answers his iPhone. But obviously, I could go on and on. The point is, we have these promotions every 3 months. We have the gathering, the picnic once a year. It is of vital importance that you remain a part of these events. It's not for me. It's for you. It's for your brothers and sisters that train with you every day. Does everybody understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's create the lines. You know what we're doing.